Dr. D, this is Keelan Sutherland, FT 202 week 3 assignment, video assignment, and we're going to be doing the twist rate of a barrel. And so I've got it chalked up in the, I've used a speed square to level it off, and from there I've marked the barrel with an orange paint pen here. And so what I'm going to do is make at the 12 o'clock position on my rod, and then I'm going to pull it through. Right here I've marked the barrel for 2 inches, or whatever this dimension here to here is, and then I'm going to pull the rod like this, and watching, let me do that again. And it just lost the pressure in the chamber, and the flag moved about 1/8 of an inch, or 1/8 of a rotation, sorry. So I'll do it again real quick until it's at 12 o'clock. And there's the rotation. So then I take that out, and I measure where my rod, where I marked on my rod earlier, and it is almost exactly it's like 2 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to math for that. I wrote it out already. Those inches times the denominator of the fractional rotation gives you your twist rate. So that's 2 inches, right at 2 inches, times, there's the 1/8, we drop the, make it the 8. 2 times 8 equals 16. So you get 1 rotation and 16 inches of barrel. I'll be addressing more of the stuff here in a moment. Dr. D, this is part 2 of the same FTH revolver course, the 202, data still 4/6/24, and I'm going to be addressing the first part of the video, and we're going to start with the hand, and so this is the hand that interacts with the ratchet on the cylinder, and if the hand is broken or misaligned, it won't engage with the surfaces on the ratchet. And there is a way to fix that, but it's a failure to lock is the actual term for it, and feeding. So it's a failure to lock, to feed, and that will, as we can see, as we, hold on, I'm trying to do this. Here it goes. There is full lockup on the hand. So if it will not work, part of the reason for that is sometimes the hand will get deformed or broken or misaligned down here when somebody's putting it back together. So that will cause it not to rotate the cylinder, not to lock in place. The next one is the sear, and it's right here, and it engages with the hammer, or sorry, the trigger right here. And if the sear isn't engaging, it could be a broken engagement surface here or here, or even up here. And the way you would fix that is sometimes you could replace the trigger, sometimes you could replace the hammer or the secondary sear there. If it doesn't engage the hammer, it won't release correctly, or could create an unintentional firing if you just cock the hammer back to single action. And something that somebody could do to fix that sear problem is replace the sear, or ground the surfaces if they're still within specifications. And that one is ultimately called a failure to, it'll affect the failure to fire the weapon because it won't rotate, failure to lock because it won't engage with the cylinder, and a failure to unlock, or it won't do an unlock, it'll just do the other two. The next one is the cylinder stop, and this one is right here. It engages here, and one of the reasons it could be not working is because of this spring right here that puts forward pressure through this channel into here, and it will cause failure to lock, fire, chamber, and give you an out of battery if it's not locking in place. If the cylinder won't lock into these notches, the cylinder notches, it will cause the weapon to prematurely, it'll align the hammer, and it might hit the primer when it's not fully locked into position on one of the cylinders. And the way you can fix that is, 1, replace this if there's not enough tension. 2, replace this little the cylinder bolt catch here, or the cylinder stop, and that's not a great malfunction to have. Lastly is the hammer strut, and this one here is probably the most catastrophic of all, just because a misaligned hammer strut will make your pistol or your revolver dead. It won't allow it to cock, won't allow anything to happen. Everything drives off this little guy right here. One of the common things that could happen is this right here will break or shear, causing the spring to go down here, and the hammer strut will have no tension to cock the hammer or engage the sear from the trigger. This one here is pretty much a failure to cock, fire, lock, feed, and unlock, and it is probably the worst case scenario for the revolver, but it's not. It doesn't necessarily put the individual in danger, because if it's not engaged, if the hammer won't engage right here, hang on. If the hammer won't engage, the spring won't compress, nothing in there. The trigger won't engage the hammer. The hammer won't, or the trigger won't cause the any of the components. This won't work. Your trigger return spring won't work. Your hammer won't engage. The hand, and then it won't engage the hammer block, which won't allow the firing pin to be struck. Also won't allow the cylinder stop to engage the cylinder to stop it on time. So it's pretty much the worst case scenario as far as one little 15-cent piece of tin holding all the pressure here. And so easiest thing to do to repair that is just take it out, chuck it up into a vise, and put this little plate, this retaining plate, back in. Well, that is all for this week. If you have any questions, please let me know, sir. Thank you.